stop scrolling for just a moment. You may have opened this video without thinking. Maybe you were looking for something to entertain you. Maybe you were trying to escape the stress of another long day. Or maybe you don't even know why you stopped here. But what if this moment is not an accident? What if, before you scroll away, you hear exactly what your heart has been needing? Life has a way of making us feel invisible. We smile while carrying heavy burdens. We tell everyone we're fine while silently asking, "Does anyone really see me? Does anyone care?" If that sounds like you, listen carefully. Jesus sees you, not the version of you that everyone else sees, not the version you post online. He sees the real you, the one carrying unanswered prayers, hidden tears, quiet fears, and dreams that seem to be slipping away. And the amazing truth is this: His love for you has never changed. Even when you felt distant from Him, He was never distant from you. Even when you stopped praying, He never stopped listening. Even when you thought you had failed too many times, His mercy was still reaching towards you. Many people think they have to become perfect before coming to Jesus. They believe they must fix themselves first, become stronger first, become more faithful first. But Jesus has always welcomed people exactly where they are. The tired, the broken, the anxious, the disappointed, the lonely. The people who thought they had no hope left. Maybe today you feel like you're carrying more than you can handle. Maybe you're worried about your family, your future, your finances, or your health. Maybe you've been asking God the same question over and over. Lord, where are you? The answer is simple. He is closer than you think. Sometimes we expect God to speak through dramatic miracles, while He gently speaks through quiet moments like this one. Sometimes He reminds us that we are not forgotten, not abandoned, and never beyond His love. So before you continue with your day, take one slow breath. Set aside the noise for just a few minutes. Open your heart. Because hope has a way of entering when we finally become still enough to receive it. And today's reminder is this: your story is not over. Jesus is still writing it. There are moments in life when it feels like every door is closed. You pray, but nothing seems to change. You wait, but the answer never comes. You wonder if God has forgotten your name. If you have ever felt that way, you are not alone. Many faithful people have walked through seasons of silence. They trusted God, yet they still faced storms. They believed, yet they still experienced pain. But one thing remained true through every trial: God never left them. The same is true for you today. Your current situation is not the final chapter of your life. Just because you cannot see what God is doing does not mean He is doing nothing. Think about a seed buried deep in the ground. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. It is covered in darkness, surrounded by dirt, hidden from everyone's eyes. But beneath the surface, something beautiful is taking place. Roots are growing. Life is beginning. The seed is preparing for the day it will break through the soil and reach the sunlight. Sometimes our lives are just like that seed. The hidden season is not a wasted season. God often does His greatest work where no one else can see. Perhaps you have been asking, why is this taking so long? Maybe the better question is, what is God preparing me for? Every delay is not a denial. Every closed door is not a punishment. Sometimes God protects us from paths that would have led to greater pain. Sometimes He closes one door because He sees another one that we cannot yet imagine. Jesus never promised that life would be easy. He promised something even greater. He promised that we would never have to walk through life alone. When the road becomes difficult, He walks beside us. When our hearts are heavy, He carries burdens we cannot lift ourselves. When tears fill our eyes, He understands every single one of them. There is no prayer that He ignores. There is no broken heart that He cannot comfort. There is no life so damaged that His grace cannot restore it. Maybe today you feel weak. Remember this: God's strength shines brightest when we realize we cannot rely on our own. You don't have to have every answer today. You don't have to know exactly what tomorrow will bring. You only need to take the next step in faith, trusting that Jesus is already waiting there. He knows every fear you have never spoken aloud. He knows every dream you have almost given up on. He knows every time you smiled while hiding your pain. And still He looks at you with compassion, not condemnation. His love is not based on your performance. His grace is not earned by your achievements. His mercy is not limited by your failures. It is a gift freely given to everyone who comes to Him with an open heart. So if you feel tired, come to Jesus. If you feel lost, come to Jesus. If you feel unworthy, come to Jesus. You do not have to clean yourself up before He welcomes you. His arms have always been open. And perhaps today is the day you stop carrying everything by yourself. Perhaps today is the day you trust Him a little more than you did yesterday. Because the God who created the stars also knows your name. And the Savior who calmed the storm is still able to bring peace to the storms inside your heart. Have you ever noticed how fear likes to whisper the loudest when you are closest to a breakthrough? It tells you that nothing will ever change. It tells you that you are not good enough. It tells you that your mistakes are too big and your prayers are too small. But fear is not the voice that should guide your life. Jesus speaks differently. His voice brings peace in the middle of chaos. His voice brings hope when everything around you feels hopeless. His voice reminds you that your value has never been determined by your past. Your value was shown at the cross, where love made the greatest sacrifice. No matter where you have been, you are not beyond the reach of God's grace. Perhaps you have regrets that still follow you. Maybe there are words you wish you had never said. Maybe there are decisions you wish you could undo. We all have moments we would like to erase. But God's mercy is greater than your greatest mistake. He is not standing over you, waiting to remind you of every failure. He is inviting you to leave those burdens behind and walk forward with Him. That does not mean life will suddenly become perfect. There will still be challenges. There will still be days when you feel discouraged. There will still be moments when you wonder why things happen the way they do. But you will not face those moments alone. When Jesus walks with you, even the darkest valley is no longer a place of defeat. It becomes a place where your faith grows stronger. Sometimes we ask God to remove every storm. Sometimes He chooses to calm the storm. Other times, He calms His children while the storm is still raging. That kind of peace cannot be explained by circumstances. It comes from knowing that your life is safely held in the hands of the One who never changes. Take a moment and think about all the times you believed you would never make it through. Remember the nights when you cried yourself to sleep. Remember the days when you thought you had reached your limit. Yet here you are. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still surrounded by opportunities to experience God's goodness. That is not because you have been strong every day. It is because God has been faithful every single day, even on the days when your faith felt weak. His faithfulness remained strong, even when your prayers were only a few words. He understood the cry of your heart. Maybe someone listening today feels forgotten by the world. If that is you, hear this truth. You matter. Your life has purpose. You were created with intention. There is a reason you are still here. There is kindness only you can give. There is hope only your story can share. There are people whose lives may one day be encouraged because you chose not to give up. So don't let today's struggle convince you that tomorrow has nothing to offer. God is still writing chapters that you have not yet read. The page you are living today is not the end of the story. Keep trusting. Keep praying. Keep believing, even when you cannot see the road ahead. Remember that Jesus already knows the destination. He walks before you. He walks beside you. And when you feel too weak to take another step, He is faithful to carry you through until hope rises again.